Today's video, we're gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna try to take this thing drifting. Gotta go put the spares on, the actual drift tires, but we're having a slight problem up here, and I'm not too sure on what it is. Whenever the brake is applied, see, it's a little, I think the rotor's warped maybe. So there's a little bit of a scraping whenever you brake, and I think the rotor itself is just a little bit warped. You can kind of hear it scraping there, and then it gives, and then it gets stuck, and then it gives, and then it gets stuck, and there's a little bit of a cracking looking thing here. Hopefully it's not a crack, I think it's just a scar, but there's a scar up here. So today's plan, I'm just gonna go ahead and take off this brake caliper, at least fold it over so I can check the brake pads, and then if the brake pads look good, then I'm gonna go and take off the actual rotor to make sure everything on the back is nice and clean. So we were running into a slight problem here. Whenever I went to go take it off, the actual thing is like pretty stuck in there. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. Maybe it's not releasing all the way. There's a crow over there. Hello, little crow. Hello, little crow. He just walked up on me. Okay, so I got everything greased up and put back together. Hopefully this will fix the issue. Maybe it was just catching right here, and then the rotor was just scraping against it. So hopefully this grease will do it. I went ahead and greased this side and the actual braking side, just in case. You know, you don't want any friction against this metal thing. So I see all the scars in there, so I went ahead and just greased up the whole thing. Hopefully that will stop the scarring. So I may or may not have found the problem. This one I can push in nice and easily with my hand, like the piston. But this one I think is seized. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to get this thing unblocked. I don't have any C-clamps, but I have this thing. It's kind of like a C-clamp. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get this thing all squished up. So I got everything tightened down. Did scratch my brake caliper, which is kind of sad. Now the red is kind of showing through, but you know, nothing you can really do about that now, at least. So we just gotta let it down, torque down the lugs, and then I guess we can try out our rear tires back there to see how everything's gonna fit. One of the last things I need to do before I actually go to the drift meet is to make sure that these wheels, there was a problem, I don't remember if we fixed it or not. Like, they're made for this car, but they weren't wanting to line up perfectly with the actual hub-centric part. So I need to make sure that these are going to work with the hub-centric part. Okay, so I actually didn't fix the wheel because it didn't want to go on there very well, but I found the actual issue. So before, the hub on there was kind of messed up, so it kind of didn't fit directly onto this hub-centric piece. So I guess from riding like that for so long, it actually deformed. Let me see if I can get a good pic. There's now a lip, uneven lip all the way around it. So that's why it's not sitting on there right, and you would just get a lot of wobbling. I'm gonna go ahead and grind that down with just a little electric grinder. Put on a real fine either sandpaper, or I'm gonna do a grit, some stone pieces like that or something, throw it on there and go ahead and get that lip grinded down, and then I'll go ahead and check the other wheels as well. Alrighty, so kind of grinded down this side already, nice and flat, nice and smooth. I got a little bit of a bump here. Now I just got to get this side right here. Sorry. Need to get this side right here. This could just be a bad casting or whatever, but I've always kind of had problems with this actually going on there, so hopefully grinding on this lip will help us a little bit more. So I got these wheels all put on. Everything works fine. No wobbling or anything, so that's always great. The only thing I'm going to do is tighten up my parking brake. I'm just trying to get everything ready. This is literally the last thing I need to do besides clean up a little bit of the wiring on the inside of the car. But besides that, these wheels seem fine. They're really torquey. I mean, you can really tell the difference between these 17s and then those 18s. Also, this compound not rubs, but scrapes a lot harder on the road with this welded diff. So pretty weird difference between these two wheels. So I went to go and put on these reinforcement brackets that just connect the chassis to the suspension, I guess. And I came down here, and all the grease that I put in this axle, I've already kind of cleaned it all up, but it's slung all over the exhaust and everything. And glad I came down here to check, because you can actually move this, which means my axle is loose. So good thing I came down here to check it, or else that would have broke. It's just slung everywhere, all up there, everywhere, pretty much. So kind of already got that cleaned up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and retighten all these axle bolts down, and hopefully that will hold for a little bit. So you can kind of see it a little bit better now. I just kind of took off the one bolt that was holding this little bracket on, and it is just soaked in oil. That just go all the way around and clean that up, put some Loctite on there, and then put it back together. I spent a lot more time on this than I would like, but I got this bar on. This bar has always been on, just on this one side, but I actually got this one. This one connects the front of the subframe to the rear of the subframe, so it's kind of just a frame stiffener. And then these are all Loctited, and then the bolts are all Loctited. It's on Guten tight torque spec, so it should be good.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna try to. Some people had just rolled up, so I cut it off, but they went over to the park, so we're gonna roll a little bit further up here. This is kind of just to test how everything's gonna be looking with the GoPro. I have it right here so I can see everything. We're gonna go ahead and drive around a little bit. Now there's another car rolling up. Maybe we came a little bit too early, but there's still a lot of cars rolling up here. I've been waiting here for about 15 minutes and everybody's gone. Over there, I don't know if y'all can see it because I checked the GoPro footage and everything's pretty dark. But over there is where people were driving, so or sitting, so we're gonna drive over here. Pretty big open space. Kind of. That was my first time trying to use the handbrake, so. Okay, that didn't work. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, y'all can hear that thing. That was a pretty good donut. I've kind of learned how to control it. I just needed to give it more angle. And it was working pretty fine for me there. Now, what we need to try to do is do a transition. Had some people egging me on there, so you know, we kind of went for it a little bit. transition. That didn't work. That was on a dime burnout. What I want to try to do is transition. Alright. There we go. We're doing it on the left side now. So now we'll transition. I don't want to burn these tires up too bad, just because I need to use these at the drift event. So we're just trying to get some practice laps in to see how these tires are going to feel. And you know, honestly, they don't feel too bad. They feel pretty normal for a tire that I'm just practicing on, you know. Pretty cool that I had some people there to egg me on too. So learned a lot of things about this car. All I got to do was flick it and release, and then it will slowly but surely get into the way that we need it to get into for it to continually go in a circle. So it has a lot of self-steer in it, which I really like. This go around, I didn't really learn how to do a transition or a figure eight, so that kind of sucks. But besides that, I did learn a lot of stuff this go around. Usually I just bring my girlfriend out here to try to do a couple little burnouts, you know, but this time by myself, I really did learn a lot of stuff about how this car wants to act. I did a good little burnout on going both ways. My right is my dominant. I think that's the same for a lot of people, just because that's the right hand, that's the way that they're looking. I tried to go both ways. I know it's better to do a donut one way than learn how to do it the opposite way and then to do a transition, but I wanted to see where I was before I go to the actual drift meet. One of the main things I wanted to test in this video was drifting with the Welded Diff. Before I drifted with the Welded Diff, but on my 235s, which are my dailies, probably should shift. Although those drifted perfectly fine, and you know, this car breaks loose super easily, I don't want to burn those tires up compared to these where I just don't care about them. These are just my drift spares. These are my original tires, so everything just doesn't matter too much with these. But if you enjoyed this video today, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm really doing good on my videos, so hopefully that shows to y'all. I've been trying to add my own unique touches to my videos. Hopefully that kind of shows in the stuff that I've been producing lately. And if you haven't seen any of my videos, like me putting in my Welded Diff and my what is it like to drive with the Welded Diff, make sure you go check out those videos. I'll probably go ahead and put a link in the description. As for that, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.